All right. So, Write Your Brave Book 2026. I said it earlier, but not on the recording. So, look around, y'all. This is a community of friends that you will be writing with throughout the year. These, so far today, all women. Interesting, right? Um, uh, these women will be your writing partners, buddies. They'll be your accountability partners if you want that. They'll be people who can support a book launch when you're ready. And there's a little ulterior motive here for getting into community with this book writing thing. Because y'all could have hired a book coach and gone on and done that little solo thing that we all do. We sit at our computers and write our books, and it's kind of lonely, and we might have a book coach or somebody helping out. But what about when it's time to launch the book and you need a launch team? You need a community to raise their hand and say, oh my gosh, Jeanette, I can't wait till your book comes out. Yes, sign me up for your launch team. I want to be part of that. Look at these faces, y'all. You've got a built-in start to that. This was part of my why here today, starting this off. When you all get to know each other, show up to these sessions, because when you get to know each other and you hear each other's whys for your books, you will be leaning into the screen to make friends with people. And then, of course, later on, you're going to want to support them. That's how we're going to do this, right? And I've got so much buzzing excitement in me today about starting this beautiful journey with you all. Make friends, take it off the sessions and go do a little networking, make some friends and relationships, deepen those relationships, learn about each other's books, all the things. And I hope that it's what happens for you, that you sit and you're typing alone. I know you're typing alone, but guess what? In this program, we'll show up to Zoom and we're going to be typing together like last year, you guys. I'm telling you, that is why my book got finished. It's because y'all made me show up to the Zoom. And even though we were sitting there quietly, all typing together, that was it. We were all typing together. I could feel the energy. I could look up at the screen and see everyone doing their thing. And I just felt so much more energized and purposeful about doing it that way. So my book from last year she just sent it to me. The editor sent it back. I haven't even opened it up yet. I'm a little nervous. So that's my next stage with last year's book, is I have to go through her edits. I have to perfect that interior. And right now my launch date for that is February 10th, right? So I've got a month here and we're working on that. But that was this community is how come I finished that and is moving in a direction of publishing. So thank you all. If you were here last year and you're returning this year, keep it going. I want to get you to that end stage big time. I want to get you to that next place where you're, texting me and like, Laura, I finished my manuscript. What do I do next? Right? Because you all have me as that resource from here on out. And you guys know this isn't a publishing program, right? But it's an accountability program. Like, you got to finish your manuscript before you can even think about getting that published. However, today and all through January, February, and March, we're going to talk about the business of your book. If you have a book, you've got a business. Sorry to tell you, okay, in case you didn't know. Some of you have businesses behind your books already. So now this business of the book that you're writing is going to be a beautiful fuel for thriving in your business. At least those are the kinds of books I will help coach you to write, because you can begin to think of the strategies and the way that you'll bring these brave words out into the world. You're going to have to think about what's in that book before you get to publishing stage. You have to start building your platform today. for that book you're going to publish next year. So all of you who've been around me know that you're going to get Laura's business brain constantly. And I will pay forward all the things to you all that I've learned from all these incredible coaches and people that I've learned from. And I think in terms of books, if I had sat in a group like this on day one and had somebody say to me, Laura, you need an email list on a website and you need to start building your email list today, I would have been thanking them still years later for kicking my ass to do that. Because you guys, I have to chuckle about this one, but I am your sort of example of that worst nightmare thing. My entire social platform disappeared on November 20th. And we all hear this. We get these notes on, well, what if Facebook goes away? What if you can't access it tomorrow? Guess what happened to me? November 20th, I woke up and 20 years of purposeful content on my social, both Facebook and Instagram, because they're connected by Meta, gone. So what is a purposeful woman publisher who's trying to be more visible in the world to do, right? Hard pivot to LinkedIn. That's the answer. So I made a hard pivot to LinkedIn, but I had already, I'll pat myself on the back, been coached. I had already been coached to build my email list. And that is, of course, you've all heard it too. Well, if social goes away, what do you need? You need your email list. You need to be able to reach out directly to your friends, family, colleagues who are part of your email newsletter list. And you need to be able to say to them, oh, my Facebook went away. Right? But if you don't start capturing their names and emails today, you have no one to announce anything to later. So we'll talk about ways to build your email platform. If some of you aren't on my email list already, then great, because if you sign up, you're going to get access to the Brave Healer Resources Vault. And there's a whole little masterclass on building your email platform in there. Right? I can answer questions about any of that, but start today. Start thinking about it today. And think about the thing. This is so fun. But as we get clarity on this book that you're going to write this year, there might be a super duper cool free email opt-in that could directly relate to the work you're doing and the book you're writing, so that you could be crafting that now and starting to get that out into all the places and share and build the email list that's even more directly related to the fan base you're going to want to announce the book to. You guys following? Like, you all have email opt-ins for your businesses. You know, how old are they? Mine's pretty old. Have you done a new one recently? Well, now you're writing a new book. So what if you craft a new one, right? And start to get those people on that list. So yeah, I know, very old, right? So I think most of us have old ones. I've experimented, and I totally break the rules on this, because they say on your website, you know, you should have one main call to action for the email list. And I had so many things I was doing and all the calls to action and, hey, go grab this free thing, go grab that, you know. And so finally I'm like, well, I still want to give all those things out to people. So I made the Brave Healer Resources Vault. And when you sign up, you get all the things in there, and you can go pick and choose what you want or what you need, right? So there's that email list building masterclass. There's a book writing mini workshop there. Oh my gosh, there's so many things in there. I can't even remember what's all in there, but it's good. Pro writing tips, book launch playbook is in there. And some of you who've been following me for a while have seen all these freebies over time, but then I had to consolidate, right? And now I'm just like, get the vault, you guys, get into the vault. So, okay, I'll give you a little link for that right now. So for any of you who aren't on my list, come on over and have fun with it and ask me questions. Maybe you need some help with what your email opt-in is this year. It's going to be really, really important that you start to think about that now as you get the clarity for your book. So let's start talking about that a little bit. What book are you writing this year? And it might be your first book. So who's writing their very first book? Keep your hands up for a second so I can spy you. Okay, super. Awesome. Thank you. Congrats. Eek. It's fun. It's exciting, right? Who's writing their next book? Like another book. You've already written a book and you've got your second, third, fourth. Any hands? Jeanette, I know. I'm like waiting for Jeanette's hand to go up. She's written so many books. Good. Good. So now it's like, ooh, what's the next book, right? Like what is that next thing? Who are your ideal readers? Who are the people that you'll be writing for this year? And we're going to do an exercise today that will help you, I think, help you quite a bit with that clarity. Who has written a chapter for one of our expert collaborations or any other anthology that you've been in, even if it's not me? Okay, look at all you guys have done a little bit of that writing, right? Awesome. And so if you can write a chapter, you know you've got 10 chapters, you've got 12 chapters, you probably have multiple books in you. This program I hope it's a breeze for you. I hope this writing flows out of you so easily that you just can barely keep up with the flow because you all have such wisdom and you've been around a minute and you've had experiences and all of the things, and the world needs those brave words. You will change a life with this book. You guys know that, right? Yeah, you know that. You're going to change lives with this book. This is something where, like, I will kind of kick you in the butt if you procrastinate too much, because I'm going to say, listen, and I'm totally giving her a hard time right now. So Carol Park, it's not about you. It's about the people whose lives you're going to change if you don't get that darn book out into the world. I'm totally giving her a bad time, you guys. Her book needs to be in the world. She's been working on her book way too long. We need her brilliant, beautiful healing book. Oh my gosh. So when you need to, some days you got to kick your own butt. Like, get out of your head, y'all. It's good enough. And when you get to the point of finishing your manuscript, guess what? It goes to an editor to be good enough. I don't care how it is in first manuscript stage. I'm going to teach you so many beautiful things about writing that hopefully you'll get to the end of the year. You'll have a pretty darn good first draft. You all know that quote about your shitty first draft, right? Whatever. It's not even going to be shitty. It's going to be amazing. And then it's going to an editor. So your job is to get it as much out of you as possible in as best order as you can. It's to do your best job so that you can grab a partner in editing and make it absolutely phenomenal, well-written, proofed, beautiful, right? And all the things. So get out of your own way. I'm going to call out your self-sabotaging BS all year. Don't do it. Just think of your ideal reader, your beautiful person whose life you're going to change. And that's going to be our first exercise. So many of you who've been in one of my collaborations have done the love letter exercise. We're going to do it again. And it's really important that you focus in on this exercise for this person for your solo book. You may be surprised at the different kind of feeling you have with this exercise. What comes up, who comes up, all the things. Okay. So have fun with being surprised about that. So for the moment, I want you to just put your pens down and I want you to settle into your body. And if it helps to close your eyes, go for it. or maybe just a soft gaze that's just below the computer screen so you can soften the light from the screen for a moment and take some deep breaths and arrive here. Deep rib expanding pelvic bowl breath. Come into the present moment. Exhale, relax, soften. Let your shoulders drop. That's juicy, right? Deep rib expanding pelvic bowl breath. Breathing in the gratitude to be in a community like this, to do this beautiful, purposeful work together this year. Ooh, this is a good start to 2026. Soften as you exhale. Drop into your seat a little. Remember, you have feet. Bring your energy down into this beautiful space of your body. This place is the connected place I want you to write from. And you can get there in 3 deep breaths. This does not have to take an hour of meditation, right? Some of you are practiced, so get yourself there. Ooh, I'm here, man. All these beautiful people. We're going to start writing this beautiful book today. So now I want you to imagine somebody that you're writing for. Who is this person? Who is this person? Maybe it's a beautiful, perfect, ideal client that you have right now. Gosh, you wake up early in the morning and you're like ready to roll to serve this person. They are so amazing, right? You've worked with them. Maybe you helped somebody for free. Maybe they were your client. Maybe they're a friend or a family member. Who comes to your mind, right? And breathe in the gratitude of them being in your life, because they're gonna be a fire of purpose under this book this year. Your purpose has a face and a name, you guys. Who comes to your mind as I'm talking about this? What do you want them to know? What are these master teachings you'll be helping them with? How do you want them to feel? Specifically, how do you want them to feel? They've closed your book, done. And now they are sitting there and they've got a feeling in their body. What is it? Can you conjure it up right this moment in you? So who is this perfect, ideal reader, client, reader of your beautiful, beautiful, brave words? I want you to take another breath. Gently open your eyes, come back to your notebook, and actually come into the chat real quick and tell me the first name of these people that are coming to your mind. Give me some names. Oh, I like that name, Jeanette. Right? Oh my gosh, look at all you guys go. That is awesome. Laura, Lisa, Tracy, Angelina, Therese, Georgina, Kathy, Darlene, Heather, Jess, Leo, Jeff, thanks. I see it, Carolyn. Charlotte, Sue, Susan. Yeah, your purpose has a face and a name. Put their name at the top of your notebook, and I want you to write them the juiciest love letter you have ever written them. Dear Susan, what I want you to know and or how I want you to feel is, we're going to spend a good 5 minutes on this love letter, and I really want you to imagine your person, things they've said to you, moments that you've worked with them. How do you want them to feel? What do you want them to know? They, as a result of reading this book, okay, just go for it. No rules. Don't censor yourself. Okay, you've got a few seconds to finish up the thought or the sentence that you're on. Okay, so for our Zoom sessions, when I call on you guys, I greatly appreciate with this many people in the room that you use that raise hand function at the bottom of your screen. I'll take about 3 shares because, man, we need to hear these love letters. Who wants to share what they just wrote? Use that raise hand function, please. Cool. I got Lulu, Bridget. Thank you, gals. Anyone else? Okay, cool. Super duper duper. So, when we listen to these beautiful love letters, give yourself the gift of fully listening and receiving because these vibes are high, y'all, right? And who doesn't want more of that? And oh my gosh, I can't wait, Lulu. You go.
I want to say my eyes feel a bit moist before I even start.
Uh,
Dear Georgina, what I want you to know from reading this book is that the reverence for your beautiful essence as a woman is so seen in the world, and you are a guiding light. And of how I know we as women can be hard on ourselves, I see you with the soft eyes of the goddess God Creator itself. I know your heart is overflowing and generous and creative in innumerable ways. I want you to feel that each page was written with the love that you know so well within yourself as a wellspring of kindness, sincerity, and tenderness. These words are your reminder whenever you have doubt arise. These words are a holy temple holding you sacredly. These words are an exquisite nectar, the elixir of love. These words are the song that sings in harmony with your soul. Dear beloved, embrace yourself in this book.
yes, if you guys, yeah, feel free to snap, clap, wave, heart, whatever you need to do today for all of the things, right? You guys get used to the heart reaction in this group, okay? That's super awesome. Now, listen, you open up a book and you have the first words in an introduction or a love letter to you. You think you're going to keep reading? Yeah, you're going to keep reading. But sometimes we don't realize we're actually talking to a human because we just want to tell the world what we have to tell them. And we're going to tell the story and we're going to teach them what we know because you guys are masters at what you do. But who are you to tell me what to do if I don't know you first? And so this is where personal story and personal letters and this kind of writing come in. Put it in there, get personal with people, and they will fall in love with you and they won't stop reading. Lulu, that was so beautiful. Thank you. Bridget, ready.
Oh, that was so touching, Lulu. Thank you. Dearest Angelina, I want you to know you've done enough. You've stretched, efforted, and worked hard, harder than most. You've achieved big, huge things. Sometimes you didn't even stop to celebrate it. Part of you is tired, but you keep going. You likely don't know any other way to be. The doer, the hustler, the perfectionist, the overloaded, the wanderer has become your identity. And stopping or slowing down makes you feel like you'd be losing part of yourself. But I'm here to tell you, you've already lost the greatest part of yourself, the sovereign part, the part of you who dreams, who knows, who feels, who knows she's enough just by being, whose presence shifts the atmosphere of the room even before she says a word. Take a deep breath in and out and arrive here, home, back into your body, reconnect with your wholeness, your being. It's your time, the perfect time for a reset.
Thank you. Beautiful. Super, super awesome. You might have been speaking to me, I think, a little bit. Yeah. Thank you. Plus, we're all each other's ideal readers and clients in here, by the way, you guys. So that's what makes a book launch team so incredibly powerful in the end game of this book. I was once told by a book coach, you don't want a million people on your book launch team. You want people who read your genre and love your kind of book on your book launch team. So another little piece of my ulterior motive here is to get y'all together and make friends for that in the end. Okay, Julie Blanfin, let's hear your love letter.
Dear Lisa, how I want you to feel is this: nurtured, cared for, and calm. You've spent so many years kicking ass in your career, catering to the whims of your clients and revising their experiences, even at the detriment to your own health. You've been stressed out and pissed off for years, and now you're retired, and you're spending 24/7 caring for your parents and continuing to ignore your own needs, body, mind, and spirit. I want you to know your true worth. It's time to breathe, sister. I want you to trust the value in practicing self-compassion. I'm hoping that you'll recognize that now is the time to give yourself as much as you've been giving others all these years. It's not easy, though. Trust me, I know. This is why I call it a practice. Love you like a sister, Julie.
Thank you, Julie. I felt the sisterhood vibe in that very much. Yes, you're talking to your friends. You're not talking to everyone in your book. You might want to remember that. And when you write this book this year, and every chapter is like a love letter to the person, watch how your writing comes alive. And then when you do that, everybody will want it, right? Like you don't have to worry that like it's not going to be for everybody. It's just the way that you sit down and do the writing. It needs to be like you're writing to that person. You will say different things when that's the case. You'll explain it differently when you've got your person in mind. So sometimes I'll even put a little picture of them on my computer or on my desk, right? And I'll just, oh yeah, okay, I got you, right? Some of you have heard my Shirley story. So I had Shirley up on my computer for a really long time. Like, oh, okay, I need to say that a little bit differently, right? I'm getting too impersonal. Jean, let's hear it.
Okay. Dear Susan, what I want you to know is you're not alone. I get it. I feel your pain. I appreciate your phenomenal journey. You've touched me to the core of my being. Thank you so much for your raw honesty, humor, fierce courage, and celebration of life despite multiple physical, emotional, and mental challenges. I see you sharing the many gifts you have to offer the world. Your heart oozes with kindness and service, yet you don't seem to know this. You don't recognize the powerful impact you're having on the world. Oh my goodness, Susan, drink it in. It's right here in you. You are a banquet of blessings. It's time. I've got you. Let's do this.
Love it, love it, love it, Jean. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I'm hearing you guys read and I'm picking up a line. Y'all pick up a line sometimes, you write it down like you could write a whole poem with the one line that just like speared your heart. I love it. I turned the banquet line, Jean, into "You Are My Banquet." It's going to be a love letter or love poem. You are my banquet. I love it. All right. Just letting a couple more people in here that I think got kicked out of the Zoom. Let's get them back in. Okay. Jeanette, ready for you.
Dear Laura, I've written this juicy gratitude book with you in mind. I want to tell you how important you are in my life. Yours is the face I see when I write. Your beauty and love of nature fuels my fire. I wrote these words to help remind you of your innate divinity and as the precious gift that you are. May these words bless you as much as they have blessed me to curate them for you, to bless your body, mind, and spirit. Thank you for being a bright light in my world. So much love and gratitude, Jeanette.
Thank you for addressing that to Laura. Thank you, Jeanette. Okay, one more, Yantra G.
Thanks, Laura. Dear Sue, you are a most beautiful person, inside and out. I know that sometimes you don't believe that, and that you are struggling to get through the day, to just survive some days. This book is just for you. Small, bite size. It can fit in your bag, so you can access snippets of support to keep you on track. Whether it's about your sense of love, self-worth, or fear that arises, I'll be with you, holding your hand on each page. What you might not know is that I've been like you are, and I'm here to remind you that life can be full, open, easy, graceful. You are not alone, and I love you.
Wow. Thank you, Yantra. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is how you're writing your book, y'all. And when you can be in this kind of energy, then it will fuel you all year. When you forget, then just pick up on the body signals that are telling you you forgot. You're tired, you're bored, you're not interested, you can't get motivated, you can't come up with the next no, like stop yourself then. Put your fingers off the keyboard, put your pen down, breathe yourself right back into the purpose and the gratitude for this beautiful person. You will pull right back up into your writing, I promise you. So part of, writer's block is kind of bullshit. It just means you're overthinking things. You just went right up into your head and you're trying to make it something. And then you forgot you had anything from here down. You forgot you had a body and you forgot your person, right? So come back in your body, breathe it in and listen. How do you want them to feel? Let's do a little chat, power words with how do you want your people to feel? Give me some words in that chat. And this is so much fun because, curious is such a good start of one. Seen, loved, empowered, on purpose, supported. Yes. Nourished, badass. Yes. Supported, empowered, inspired, special, safe, loved. Yes. Cherished. Yes. You know how love starts with self-love? Well, books where you want someone to feel something start with you feeling it. It's the same exact thing. Yes, worthy, empowered, supported, informed. But look at all the repeat words in our chat list here, because I would imagine many of you want your people to feel a whole host of these beautiful words over here. Yet we sit down to our computers and we're like, oh, I don't know what to write. It's not going to be good enough. And then maybe you're tired or you're burned out or you didn't schedule enough time to write that day. Whatever it is, pause, take the 3 deep breaths, move yourself. When you guys have been at your most empowered, what happens in your body? What happens in your mind? Just let yourself have a moment to even think about that, to feel it. When you have been at your most empowered, connected place, doesn't that feel good? Why to you does it feel good? Can you even conjure it up right now for me as you're hearing me talk about it in 3 deep breaths? Can you bring yourself there? Yeah. Unstoppable. Yes. Yeah, the clock disappears. Oh my gosh, yes. Limitless. Yes. And those all those things you guys are typing have a body feel. Your posture gets taller. Your gut unclenches. Warmth, circulation come into your parts. Can you remember that being embodied in the empowered feeling, right? If you want them to feel it, where are you? Start with you now, write the chapter. So I want you to open up a document on your computer next. And if you have already, some of you, you came here probably prepped and like you already started your book document. Great, pull it up. If you are one of those people who haven't done that yet, like you are waiting for today, now's the time. Pull up a new document on your computer, right? New document. You can put at the top anything you want. Maybe you guys do have a title or a tentative title already thought of a little bit. So if you want to put a title there, if you have absolutely no clue today, just put my book. That's your title for now. Okay. Put your name under that title, by Jeanette Stewart, by Carol Park, by Arlene Knock, right? Put your byline. That's called a byline, by the way, by your name. And then insert a page break. So you go to the second page. You already wrote your title page. Cool. You all just started your book. Excellent. One goal of this whole year checked off. You guys started your book. If you're following my directions as we go here. Okay, so go down to the second page and I'm going to give you a moment. Now, listen, a dedication can be one line. In the poetry book that we're launching today, it's a one-line dedication. In some of my other books, a dedication is a whole page. Like I had something to say about that dedication, right? It wasn't just one line. And in your books, you're going to have all these amazing parts, but a dedication is kind of like the love letter. It's like, guy, you're going to put some blood, sweat, tears, love, heart, soul into this project this year. How are you dedicating it? We have so many teachers and mentors and people, so you might just make a couple notes about that. You could put the word dedication on that next page if you want. You could put a couple of names right now. You might have it in your mind that you want to dedicate it in a certain way. That's cool. You can make notes. We're going to write it in a minute, but I'm going to have you do another exercise first. Later, because I know most of you are just writing in a notebook when you did your love letter. So, no worries. If you want to like put that back in as an introduction, you're going to have to go back and type, right? And I highly, 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 3 highlies recommend that you do a lot of your writing by typing, unless you're going to verbalize it and let it be transcribed, which is another very easy way to write a book. If all of your stuff is in notebooks, a lot of the time you're going to make yourself double work, because then you're going to have to read it and transcribe it. Cool. That's fast. That works. But the love letter, I made you handwrite. You guys know, most of you, all of you are healers. You understand the brain connection to handwriting. Like there's science behind handwriting. And so when you're writing the love letter, it's like, I got to have some pen on paper. Some of you, I know, I've met you, handwrite your whole book first. Oh my gosh. Okay. If that's you, okay. But some of you will need to get that document going to be able to finish this year. And if you're doing the notebook thing, you're going to double your work. You just double, whatever. That might be your process though. So I'm not going to knock it. Okay. So let's do a little exercise before the dedication. So I want you to get into your document above that dedication page I just talked about. And I'm going to give you a good 5 minutes. And this doesn't have to be anything that ends up in the book, but I want it in there now. What's your why for writing this book? Why are you writing this? And there are no rules to this answer. What's your why for writing this book this year. Okay. 5 minutes, just get it out of you. Don't think too hard. See what messages move through. Take the deep breath if you're starting to clench up a little bit again. Why am I doing this? Why am I writing this book? Susie, do you have a question about that?
Yeah. The first book I'm actually doing is I'm relaunching a book that I wrote a long while ago, and I published and I never really promoted back in 2008. And it's been on my list for about 10 years. And I went through an exercise with Yantra the other day. Yeah, I really want to get it out there. And I've worked out what was stopping me is because it's about change. And I'm going through a total transition at the moment. And I keep putting it off. So this is one of the reasons I'm here. That's what I want to be doing. So in some ways, I'm writing it to myself.
Write your why. Write it. Give me 5 minutes, you guys. Come on, get your why. Why are you republishing? Why are you doing anything you're doing right now?
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, a few more seconds. Just kind of finish up the sentence or thought that you're on there. Okay, so I hope all of you navigated yourselves over to the group that is on LinkedIn. This is where our group is going to be housed for the year. And if some of you end up like typing out your love letter and you want to pop it in as a post, I would love to read your love letters. Or even if you want to make a video of yourself reading it, that's super cool. Pop it in the group. If you ever have a question or need support on something that you're working on, you can surely put it in that group. But all of you have, I hope by now, my contact information, and you're welcome to reach out for support. Quick questions, a text is probably great for me. It'll be faster than email. But the group is also where I want you all to, ask for a writing buddy, ask for feedback. We're going to be talking about your book titles and sort of getting that set so that you can have this place to start with your writing. There's, the group is only as good as you guys coming in and using it. So come on in and use it. Please join if you haven't already. And yeah, that's that. Let me get rid of that screen real quick. And that one. Okay, so, once upon a time, one of my writing mentors made us write a writing mission statement. And it wasn't really for one project. It was really the overall umbrella. Like, why do you write at all? Why do you write? And one of my taglines came out of that once upon a time. Like, I write to feng shui my soul, right? You've heard me say that in other calls. Like, my first priority for my writing is my own healing. It's my own clearing out of whatever the ideas are, the stories, that even the teachings and the tools. And so I write to feng shui my soul, but I also write to clear a space so that the messages from that place that's much bigger than me can move through. I write to inspire you. I write to inspire you all to be brave. So when you know why you write, it's also a motivator, right? And so when you talk about the book and you understand your why, that is fuel. And so if you put your why in front of you, you all have heard and listened to a lot about your why, right? Your why will make you cry when you really hit it. When you're really in it, it will fuel you every day. It will be a nonstop, beautiful spark to your book writing this year. And so these things are really cool, especially if you can put them in front of your face every day. If they're just in your head, sometimes that doesn't always work. Like, you have to make something pretty out of it. Put a little poster on your wall, put a sticky on your desk, put a screensaver that reminds you every single day. Make it out of your head and in front of your eyes. And let that, especially for writing your book this year, do something special for yourself in your environment. Did anyone take on that how to set up your sacred writing space homework that I sent out in the chapter? Okay, you guys got that chapter in an email, and I wrote that for you because your space that you come to write your book is important. The energy of all of this is super important. It's going to mean the difference between you actually finishing the book this year or not, right? And we want to be in those really high vibes and inspired and motivated. And of course, you may have days where you don't feel that way. So pause. You just may need to breathe and get back into the energy. It's going to be in waves for most of us through the year. Awesome, Jeanette. I'm glad you liked it. So I set up my office spaces where I type a lot for when I write my books, but I also type on my laptop in another room of my house. And so wherever those spaces are that you guys create in, do your work in, co-create in, mastermind in, anything you create, have you curated the space, right? So now you're going to get Laura's a little bit of her feng shui brain here, because I've been training with Dana Claudette. I will take any course that woman provides. I have loved it so much. It has made an incredible shift in my life to curate my spaces inside my mind and in my office, both. So when you guys are setting yourself up for this book writing this year, where are you sitting to craft it? Does it feel good? Do you need a little something, something to make it feel better? Do you have a space dedicated? You know, is your desk the sacred space? I love doing this because I can always get a really cool response of a show and tell, but like, do you have your crystals? Like, I know you guys do. So go ahead, hold them up to the screen if you have your crystals. Yay. Right? Like, yes, look at that one. Oh my gosh. I love seeing the crystals. And yes, essential oils, Jeanette. Yes, yes. My diffuser is too far away for me to grab, right? But I've got, I think, some wild orange in there from this morning. Ooh, look at that, Lulu. What the heck is that? Is amazing. Oh my goodness. Carolyn too. Nice. Yeah. And these are the spaces. Make yourself comfortable. I know I am slacking so much on having a good chair. Like, you guys would laugh if you saw what I was sitting on right now. But some of these things we procrastinate, but we really want to be in a place where we're comfortable, relaxed, can breathe, love the room and the equipment that you're using. Same thing, assess. Is it needs an update? It's running slow. You haven't done an update in a while, right? What's up with the computer? Are you writing on something that's really working for you? I have a Mac and I open up a Pages document and I just start to type right in my document. That's my process. People love all these programs. They love Scrivener. You guys can type them into the chat. If you have one you love, please share what you've used and what you love. But I'm kind of just old school. I open up my Pages document, I get to typing and I go for it. Google Drive, like all the things. Later, when you are passing your manuscript to an editor, they might, want to do the whole track changes thing. They might work with you in a Google Drive. You may have to transfer the manuscript to a place where an editor can share in and you guys can co-create there. But that's amazing, Yantra. Like, I don't know how you do notes on your phone to write a book. Like, I just don't know how you do it. But Linda Miller isn't here, but she does that too. She was here last year and talked about that. Like, my eyes are just too tired for the small screen. But the point is,
can I just say, Laura, that does for me, it means wherever I am, I can type. Because like you're saying, open a document. I open documents in Notes. So wherever I am, you could be in a waiting room. Suddenly you have an inspiration. You're not thinking, oh, I don't have my computer. You're just writing it and it goes to your computer. Or you could be in bed, you've just woken up and that download comes. You just stick it into Notes straight away.
Yes, I totally get it. And that's awesome.
Thanks,
and that is a way to capture your word is frozen, Lulu. What happened? It won't work. So just what I've learned from her is that places that are broken, not working, slowing you down, creating, just frustration. These are the things you need to clear. This is the feng shui. What decluttering do you need to do? Right? All the things. So you guys can go through that chapter and have fun with it and see if we can think about curating this beautiful space where you're going to come back to over and over again to do the writing of this life-changing book. It's big potato stuff. So get your energy foundation there, get it for yourself, internal, the external spaces. It's all super duper important. So, back to the why for a second. You might have a why for writing, but you definitely have a why for the book. Some of you are serving. It's a business building tool. I mean, it's completely legit. I hope you want to build your business with your book. And that is fantastic. You're going to think about things, calls to action in the back of the book that are going to be like, hey, hire me to speak on these topics. Hey, come do my workshop. Here's the link to sign up for it. Hey, I have these other books that I've written for all of you who are writing a next book. Make sure you put an other books by Jeanette page in the back of your book. And you've got the other books. The best way to market your book. Do you guys know the number one way to market a book? Some of you do. Write your next book. Write your next book, right? So make sure you have a page with your stuff and people can come. And then think about a resource link, QR code, whatever, right? All the tech. So if your book has a resource link and you can drip it in to some of the chapters, definitely put it in the back or the front or whatever, then those people can come get some PDFs. They can come get a little workbook that goes with your book. They can come opt in. Please make that an opt-in. So a resource link inside this book is going to be an email platform builder. Once this book is published, it will work for you. So don't forget that little tidbit. And then another fun thing for the very, very front of your book is, you guys know when you go on Amazon and you go to buy a book and you can look inside first and they'll give you a sneak peek of the first 10 pages. So get some front matter call to action right up in the beginning, maybe even before the dedication page that says, hey, I'm trying to remember my last call to action, for thousands of dollars worth of training and master classes for author entrepreneurs, get access to the Brave Healer Resource Vault. And it's that link I shared earlier. And so someone comes along, they look inside on Amazon, they see your book and they see that and they click and they sign up and they're on your email list. And then the doorbell rings and they have some crisis they have to get away from the computer for, and they never bought your book, but they're on your email list. So yay you. So front matter call to action is actually really important. And you can decide, what you want that little message to be. And I'm super happy to coach you all through like email opt-in freebies and what those can be and what works, and then how to share them. It's all the marketing stuff, right? You guys can always ask marketing questions in the group as well, on the group page. So, okay, does anybody need like a 3-minute pee break? We've got a long session today. Yeah, I've got a couple nods. Okay, be back in 3. We'll take a quick, get a little drink of water, little pee break, and then we'll keep it going, okay? And I'm here if anybody wants to unmute and ask me a question or comment about any of the exercises we just did.
Hey, Laura, I think maybe I didn't get that chapter just because I signed up like 2 hours before.
You haven't gotten anything, girl. I just literally saw your thing and I'm
like,
here's the Zoom.
Wait.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah.
You should have gotten a reply email, but it definitely didn't have the chapter in it.
Okay.
And that might be in your spam. So check it because it has the whole schedule for the whole year in it.
Yeah, I got that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to put a note right now. I'll send you everything when we're done.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, because I've been thinking about this since we moved into this new house. I don't think I've made like a creative space. Like in my old house, I had like a place where I wrote, and sat down. I used to use the whole kitchen table, but it's different. Like it all feels different here. So I haven't really found that spot yet. And I don't want it to be in my work desk because I feel drained at that desk, you know?
Yep.
So
I
I gotta
get
find a
that.
place.
Yes, and that'll be kind of fun for you to figure out. I have like this, I have two other favorite places in my house, just depending on my mood or where I want to sit. But one of the favorites is like the dining room because first of all, it's quiet. There's nothing really going on in there a lot of the time, but it's also right in front of a big sliding glass window. And so I love to sit in there. It's a room that I decorated that I love. And I'll put my laptop in there, right, and sit. My dog loves to come in there and sit at my feet. And it's like one of my other places. So yeah, it'll be fun for you to kind of figure out where is that for you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. I went down the rabbit hole of I've taken a lot of her courses. And so right now we're in the middle of it's called Beyond Decluttering. And even though I've done a lot of the work of it, it's it's like a never ending thing, right? So I went around my house and realized, oh my gosh, okay, here we go again. Like, let's figure out what else we can get rid of and declutter. It's a practice.
Yeah. Yeah, I when I was in college, I was dating a not nice boy. And when I joined the military, he kind of was in charge of my stuff while I was in basic training. Because my parents had moved, I had nowhere to kind of put it. And he started dating another girl. And then when she found out about me, well, when we found out about each other, he tried to prove to her like I was nothing to him. And so he threw all of my stuff away, like my
Oh gosh.
varsity jacket, my yearbooks, my medals,
Oh.
my everything, because my parents would give me all that stuff. So
Uh-huh.
like, having to figure out your next, like with nothing, like none of that stuff, it took a long time. Like there's a lot of hurt still for that stuff that's gone. But like, yeah, whenever the decluttering thing, I just appreciate the things that I have so tightly. Like I have a hard time decluttering because of that, because I had nothing in this huge change in my life, So yeah.
I get it. I get it. And I'm going to encourage everybody. Decluttering is a manifestation practice. So if you are interested in the law of attraction and in manifesting your biggest, deepest, most awesome desires, you have to move through that discomfort of not wanting to let go of things and curate beautiful spaces that you love. Doesn't mean you have to throw out everything. It might mean that you need a new filing cabinet, that you need a new storage place so it's also about organization, not just trashing things or getting rid of things. And so I love the organizational aspect of it too. Decluttering, isn't always about having to ditch it. But it could just be like, okay, maybe I haven't given these things I love a place of honor on a beautiful bookshelf. Or maybe I want to rearrange that, or maybe I haven't dusted my bookshelves in 10 years or whatever, so it could be a lot of different things like that. And believe me, it's a massive rabbit hole, but right now I'm in a 10-week decluttering course with her. And the very first exercise, what do you even want? And I think that's an interesting question, especially for a lot of us who have a lot of things we want already. We're living a good life. We are comfortable. We have the things we need. And right, like what do I want at this point in life, right? Most of the time, my answer is just peace, joy. And then what does that even mean? Like, and can I be unapologetic about really journaling out? No one's watching, no one's reading. What does Laura want? Can I be a little selfish about that? Like, am I allowed to do that? Ooh. And then you have these things come up with that kind of journaling. But lately for me, it's more of a feeling I want. And that is also a manifestation practice. It's how we opened up today with a love letter. It's like, bringing you all into the vibration for this book is really important. And that's also the same for your life. So anyway, oh my gosh, don't get me started on that one. We'll be here. That's the other program that I'm running this year is exactly about this stuff, right? So ask me later if you're curious about that one. It starts in February. Okay, let's get book clarity. What books are these that you are all writing? Do you have titles already? Do you know what book this is? So if that's a yes for any of you, tell me in the chat. Type me, what's the title of this book? What's it going to be about? Do you have a couple of clues? Do you have a title already? Can you share? What is it? Right? Julie, is that your title? And then there was me. Awesome. You are the salvation the world is praying for. Awesome. A guidebook for light workers in times of complexity. Really nice. I'm going to use that as an example for a second. Book titles and subtitles are keywords that will have readers finding your book. Now, you've all written a love letter to somebody. That somebody, we think, we hope, maybe it's an ideal reader. They read books of this genre. This is not the first book that they will buy of this genre. They probably have purchased lots of books like the one you're going to write. And that should not be a deterrent for you writing it, by the way. Every single thing has already been written before, but not by you. That's why you need to write your book, even if there's 50 others on the topic. Okay, so get over that piece if that is like blocking you at all. Oh gosh, I know there's already 10 books, 20, 100 books out there on X topic. I don't, why should I write this book? No, you should write that book, because if I want that topic, I am going to repeat buy books in a topic, y'all. I want your next book in that topic, even if I already have 5 books in the topic. We want to learn about these things, right? So get out of your way if it's in your way at all. Everything's been written before already anyway, right? But we need your version. We need your personal stories to help us get to know, love, and trust you. And then we need your master teaching. So most of you are writing transformational memoirs, or they're called teaching memoirs, or maybe they're called inspirational memoirs. And that's because you all have teachings and you're professionals, you have mastery behind you, but it's the memoir piece, right? You also want to share these stories. Some of you, I think, are writing full-on memoir. Like maybe this isn't going to be a book that builds a business, like with your skills or lessons or teachings in it. So cool. That would be like straight up memoir. And this is cool. You guys are giving us some ideas of what's happening. So just back up to Caroline's, you are the salvation for the world is praying for. A guidebook for light workers in times of complexity is results oriented. These kinds of words in your titles and subtitles will help somebody find a book who's searching. What do you guys think your ideal readers are typing into Amazon when they're looking for a book? This is a question that you can continue to answer as we go through the year. You can go ask your friends. If you have access to your love letter person, invite them to a Zoom or a lunch and pick their brain about this. What are the last 3 books you've purchased? Why? How much were they? What were they called? What were they about? And you guys are going to get really, really cool answers that are going to help you craft your book. But we're all out there kind of doing our businesses and writing our books, and we're just like, we're guessing. We're just like, I want to write about this. I think it's going to be amazing. Here we go. I'm going to write this whole book about blah, blah. And then you never even asked your ideal reader or client the question, do you even read books about blah, blah? And, so when you get yes, and when you get the answers to some of these questions, you're going to know exactly the book to start crafting. In fact, I can't remember who was reading their love letter. It might have been Yantra, but she said something about it being small. And that was so great. Did any of you get or see Shelley Astroff's new book? The little one? No? Okay. It's beautiful. I wish I had it here. I would show and tell it, but I'll do it next time we meet. It's this big. It's like a little tiny thing. It's so beautiful and so amazing. You could stick it in your back pocket. It's like the size of an iPhone. And so she decided to do this little tiny thing. And the stories are amazing. And okay, so do you have an idea in your head about what this book is? Does it have to be a 300-page memoir? No. But a really good thing to know is that for a book, for it to fit writing on the spine of a book, it has to be 100 pages. If you're less than 100, you're not going to be able to get it on there. Okay. And so you might, and this is a small book, you guys, this one I'm holding. So if you have a goal to have a little bit of meat to your book and you want to be able to do a formal spine with writing on the spine, shoot for 100 pages. And I'll give you lots of tips this year. If you're at like 80 and you can't quite get to 100, please just reach out. I will give you the ideas. But most of you are probably going to be more like 250, 3, like in that range. And if any of you have been in a collaboration, you know that those are thicker books, right? These are like 253 range. This is Jean's beautiful book, by the way, you guys, Expressive Arts. And I think probably a lot of the books you guys are writing are more in this kind of range, and they're different. They feel different. They're bigger, they're thicker, right? However, if you sat your ideal reader down and you said, so, tell me about the last few books you've purchased, and they're all this one, just take note. Maybe you all have, I don't know, you start writing and you realize you've got 400, 500 pages, right? That's not one book. That's 2 books, you guys. So allow yourself to get some answers from your people, real answers. Go do a little Zoom chat with a couple people. Ask about the books. What do they love about them? How big are they? Yeah. And you can stop guessing. So I also did that homework. Is the best business advice I ever got when I started the business is, go ask a couple of ideal clients what sort of services they purchase and just ask them the 40 questions. So the Ideal Client Masterclass workbook is in the resources vault. And that's part of my free, my email opt-in. So if you guys haven't done the Ideal Client work for your business or your book before, there's a whole significant resource in the vault for that. It'll change your business and it'll change the way you think about your book, but it's really important to stop guessing. And it's going to give you this feeling of freedom, relief, that you get to stop guessing and you get to really craft something somebody wants to buy. So these beautiful books, who has absolutely no idea what book they're going to write yet? And if you'd like to talk about that for a minute, first hand up. Anybody need a little, I don't know what I'm doing coaching? Everybody knows? That's so good. Okay. Or come on, be brave, you guys. If you have no clue. Okay, Maureen, fantastic. Can you unmute? Okay.
It's fantastic that I don't know what I'm doing.
It is, because the coolest thing ever is to have a totally blank slate and craft it from a place of not guessing. And so it is cool. So give me just a little bit though, like, introduce yourself in 20 seconds or less and tell me what this book is about.
Oh, I'm Maureen Benkovich. I now have a coaching business called Sober Fit Chick Coaching, and I help people change their relationship with alcohol. But I have a special place in my heart for women like myself who struggled with infertility and were never able to have children. And back when I was going through that, there was never really any support or explanation or a tribe that I could belong to. And it was a lot of years of loneliness and hurt and pretending and turning to alcohol to hide all that pain. So I want to reach out to women who are just starting to realize they're most likely not going to be able to have their own children or have children. And the next question is always about adoptions. And yes, I went through that too, and they failed. And so I want to address those women who are quietly suffering, and some of them are using unhealthy coping mechanisms like I did, and then, you know, obviously offer a way out of that. So it would lead into my business of what I do, coaching and tools.
Yes, fantastic. So it actually sounds like you have a pretty nice idea, right? Do you have a question about that clarity?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What's the question there?
Well, it's sort of hard to merge the two. I mean, they're both such big topics, and yet they're very interrelated for me. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
Would either book bring people to the same business?
To my same business?
Uh-huh. Meaning, if you know, is it a one-on-one coaching business?
It's a one-on-one coaching business.
Okay. So like, you know, if she had a workshop in the other topic and a book was bringing people to the workshop, but the other topic book was bringing people to more of her coaching business, then the question is, well, what book is going to feed your goal? You know, what's the goal? What's the book that's going to lean into your biggest goal right now? That's the one you should write first. Honestly, feed yourself.
Well, like you said, I'm the only person writing this version. There are a lot of books out there on infertility and the loss, and there's living the life unexpected. But there aren't any, as far as I can tell, about what women actually turn to hide that pain. So I feel like that's the angle that would bring them to my coaching business.
Yeah, beautiful. So, I think that. I mean, I don't see two books here. I see one book coming into, you know, why can't you have a little bit of both topics in there? It sounds like you will. And who did you write the love letter to today?
It was hard for me to nail down one woman. I named her Claire, but I really, in my head, was like to all the women who are silently suffering, who sit at the dinner tables where the icebreakers are always, what school do your children go to? How many kids do you have? And you ask all the polite questions and you order another martini just to get through the night.
Okay, so it really is about the no child journey. It's about that topic. Yeah. So I think you have your book clarity there. And now, so this is for all of you, you know, you can begin to outline. We're going to do an outlining exercise when we meet in our next session, but I'll give you the little teaser of it, because outlining a table of contents can get you so super clear on the journey that you're going to bring this reader through. So if I was going to say to you guys, listen, you've got this beautiful reader, and, you know, Maureen's thinking about this woman who's got these struggles and, you know, all of these personal kinds of things. Well, you're building a know, love, and trust with that reader first. And so there is some of your why. There's an introduction to the book, and that's going to be the writing exercise that we finish with today. We're going to write our introduction, or at least start writing it today. Okay. And if you're bringing personal story into an introduction, then you're going to hook a reader into the whole rest of the book. If you can get personal, they're going to be like, whoa, she wrote this for me. Like, I can't wait to read the rest of it. Right. But then if you can start to think about the table of contents and the author journey, let's say Maureen was going to bring a client in on her one-on-one coaching business for the very first hour's session. This is the first time you guys meet a client or anybody that you would be working with. There's a foundational piece to your work. There's probably more than one chapter's worth. But where would you begin the journey of your book? And then what would be the middle part of the journey of that coaching journey? What would be the end result or the last pieces? Sometimes authors skip and they write their very last chapter first. And they're like, okay, now I'm going to reverse engineer from there. And some people have to start with chapter 1 to go to 2, 3, 4. You guys, there's no rules. Maybe you outline it first, which I do highly recommend. Give yourself a little time to outline the book, right? We are going to do that together when we meet in our second session. And I will give you a great exercise for how to do that. But what about just now, just thinking about the journey you're taking them on, the beginning steps, the middle steps, the final steps, ultimate goal. So Maureen has me thinking about that with her woman, right? And she'll have personal stories to build the know, love, and trust, but then she's going to have master teachings, whatever you want to call these, tools, strategies, practices, in her kind of book as a coach. She's going to want to lead the reader through an experience, or at least I hope all of you think about doing that. Because when you're giving the reader an experience right there in the book, guess what they're going to want to do when they're done? Reach out to you. You've given them an experience. You've given them value. You've gone ahead and put it in that book. It does not mean they don't then need your workshop or your coaching or your next thing that you're going to put in the back as a call to action. They are going to want to come into your world next, right? And you can think about this whole journey of the book. And I want to get your juices flowing with this a little bit. So, Maureen, it's a beautiful topic and an amazing, I think you already know, but you're building a community for those women, right? Yeah.
I mean, they're
probably exactly. So I want you guys to think beyond your book this year. If people begin to read the book and it brings them back to, I don't know, I'm making this up, Maureen. So obviously you'll be thinking of all your own ideas, but if you bring them back to a monthly Q&A, a monthly support call, a monthly where they get to be with you and hear you talk about a piece of the book. Oh my gosh, you guys, your books can turn into whole summits. They can turn into whole workshop series. Lots of you who are being super smart about this year will have 2 documents pulled up on your computer side by side. You'll have your table of contents copied so that the second document can be a workshop outline. You'll be creating a course at the same time you're writing your book this year. And why not think about that, And if you have that designed, then all it needs is a URL so you can put it in the book. And all of a sudden you've got something even more than the book that's being sold by the book. So it's pretty cool idea. Anything else about that, Maureen?
No, you've got me thinking.
Okay, good. Yes. Got you guys thinking. Okay, so we're going to take a good 15 minutes now to write these in introductions. I want you to get back to, listen, it's up to you, notebook or your document, whatever you're feeling like you can flow with more right now. You can write it in your notebook. You can get up to your document on your computer. But when you're writing an introduction in a book, this is different than a foreword. A foreword is written by a professional that knows and loves you, knows your work, and can speak to it highly. And they're going to come in as a foreword, as a collaborative partner. So just make some notes and get ideas about who that might be for your book. You don't need a foreword, but sometimes it's really cool to find somebody who knows you and your work, and they can speak to what's coming in this book. And they can essentially, it's a proof for the reader. Reader, you're in good hands with Maureen about this topic, right? And here's how I know, because I am an expert in this topic. And here's how I know, because I've known Maureen and I know her work. And right, it's a forward is pumping you up, and it's definitely not an advertisement for your forwards business. Please don't let them write forwards like that. This is all for you, and it should speak to your ability to address the topic, right? But now that aside, put that aside a little bit because we'll talk more about that later in the year. Your introduction is you. This is you. And this is you stepping up on the stage. Think about this for a minute. You're about to deliver the keynote on your topic, on your book topic. And you get up to introduce this keynote, and you're going to be saying a few words. And it's really your why, your passion for the topic. It's introducing the idea to the audience and really giving us your personal why. Why should they care about this? What's the personal story that will help them into your world? And you can introduce the book like that, right? So if you're stepping up on the stage and you're going to make that introduction to your big topic, it's like, how would you do that? How would you talk about it? You guys, I'm writing this book because, right? And here's my story, and here's how I want to introduce this material. Any questions about that before we break to do that writing? And Susie, you don't have to be doing a course. I'm just giving that idea to people who, might want the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the question?
My question is about my book, because my book is an illustrated poem. There are stories behind each of the emotions, which I didn't actually include in the book at the time. I went through a big change when I wrote this book, from secure employment to being a textile artist. And I'm now going through a different change. So in reintroducing the book, do I tell all of my story, the early story, as well as the later one?
I would. What a great opportunity you guys have with I'll just talk about like a republished book for a minute, because some of you do have old books and they're your book babies, and you're sad because it's kind of like, oh, it never had a really great launch, and I would love to get that out in the world again, and I'm not exactly sure how to do that, and it's got old URLs in it, and it's got old this and my old story, and that's for the next book. So Susie has like such a great opportunity to reintroduce herself to the world. So Susie, I would tell the story and then show the transformation. So because now you're introducing sort of a new version to the world. And that all is what I'm talking about. It's the why behind the reason you're republishing. Make sense?
But what I'm trying to get is the book itself is really an illustrated poem. So can I still include that in this book? Because that's the whole crux of the book for me.
Why couldn't you or wouldn't you put a little intro in the front? Tell us a little story.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking I'll do.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I can put some of the other story, which I didn't put. I gave as if people wanted it, they could have it as a PDF. I could actually add that into the book, and then we might have 100 pages.
There we go. Nice. Yeah. And I'll give you more ideas for
the moment.
Yeah. We need that to be at 100, maybe, Is that a children's book? Did you say that?
No, it's not. It could be used by kids, but no, it's really research I did on emotions of change. And it was a poem that was channeled as part of a postgraduate course, which I then published.
I think you should probably shoot for 100 pages then, if you can, and I'll help you, because also remember, you guys can be thinking about like the poetry book that we're launching today. Every time we do a book like that, I want to give space on a page for people to write, because we have writing prompts in that poetry book. And so sometimes you guys, you're not thinking of this really in the beginning. So I want you to think about it. It's like, how can you get your reader to engage in an experience inside of your book? Some of you might be even writing like workbook style books. And that's cool. We like those, right? We like to be able to write in them. We like to have those little beautifully designed shadow boxes or places where we're writing information. And so sometimes it's really cool to have like a notes page, and you could add them in to the book. If you add 5, 10 pages, well, guess what? That's 10 more pages for your book. So you could be thinking about different
Right.
things like that. Yeah. Julie,
Okay.
yep,
Thank you very much.
yep, you're welcome. Julie, how about you?
I have been thinking about the introduction, and I'm feeling like I want to share how I came to almost reimagine this book. I have been interviewing my mom for about a year, and so I have a ton of hours and hours of voice memos. And so, just thinking, okay, I'm writing my mom's book. But now I'm starting to think that two things. Now I'm starting to think that I'm writing my mom's book to show how her life has enriched my life, and how my life now, because of my teachings, because of her teachings, are enriching other women's lives. That being said, when I first started writing the book in my mind, I thought it was totally different. I thought it was going to be her biography. I thought that it was going to be the story of her life, right? But now I'm feeling like gosh, I can't even explain it, because I've just had like this aha moment. And now I feel like the introduction should speak to that. If I can actually.
I'm going
God.
to say, yeah, I'm going to say yes. And let's do it, you guys, right now, because I'm going to get you in action, Julie, which will really solve this problem.
Perfect.
Okay, you guys, everybody. So take a few more deep breaths. You're going to be starting the introduction to your book. Go into the document if you are typing, or notebook is fine too. But if it's in the document, go below the dedication page that we messed with earlier and come into another page break, put introduction at the top. Okay, so just so you're marking it. And yeah, go for it. What's your why? Talk to me though. Talk to me, your love letter person, and introduce this to me like you're talking to me. You're in the room with me talking to me. Write like you talk. Talk it out in typing. Tell me your why, your introduction, okay? No rules. Don't censor yourself. Just bring it out there. See what happens. I'm going to give you a good, we're coming up on the time here, so I'll come back maybe 3 minutes before 4, and we'll have a quick check-in before we finish. Take a breath back into your bodies. Just have fun. Introduce the book. All right, gals. Make sure and save your work. Save. What I did last year for my sort of organizational practice for the book writing is I opened up a Google Drive for my book project, and I saved the version that I worked on that day in there. And then every time I updated it, I would just save it back into the same drive. And that way you're going to have like a record of the versions, and you'll be able to go back and if you need it. But at a minimum, I will always remind you to save your work, especially if you're typing, that can be kind of aggravating with technology. So heads up about that. Just be a good saver. Any questions? Any comments? You guys having a good start today? Starting to get these ideas moving. Anybody want to chime in for a minute?
I'm glad you said what you just said, Laura, because I started writing, and frankly, that was so helpful. Just write.
Yes.
Right? It's always so good. And so I got a good start, but then you just said, make sure that you're talking to your reader. So not only am I writing this book because I want my mom to read it, I wouldn't even finish that sentence, before she, but I want my ideal reader, Lisa, to read it because it's time that she reads this. That really kind of, softly calls her out.
Yep.
And says it's time for you to understand that you need to be kinder to yourself, or what. Yeah, I can finish that. But
you see how that immediately informs your writing, the way that you're doing it. Because when you're having a conversation with somebody, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it is so much easier to write because I'm really thinking of somebody and how I would be with them. And, so yeah. Good. I'm glad. And then before Maureen left, did you guys see her comment? She was worried that it was too heavy. And I commented back, I'm like, it doesn't matter right now. And what I want to say, I wish she was here to hear it, is some of this writing that you will do is the writing that is feng shuiing your own soul. You've got to move it out of you. Later, what's published may or may not be today's introduction exercise. It may or may not be right. I don't care how heavy it is. You have to meet a reader where they're at anyway. And so if you're so afraid it's too heavy, actually, that's probably the wrong way to think about it. Probably you were brave enough to just lay it on the line and be straightforward about where that reader is. And your book will be the one that changes their life because you did it that way. So right this moment, don't worry about it being too anything. Move it out of you. Let it be a process, right? And this book journey this year will heal you. It's going to be an incredible journey. I'm so, so, so grateful to all of you for being here, for signing up for it, for what we'll do together over the year. I'm here for you. So reach out. I know a couple of you want to get that writing space chapter. I'll make sure you have it if there's anything else, but please go get yourself into the LinkedIn group. That's where we're going to be gathering. And I will see you all next on the 14th. And that's 1 hour, 11 to 12 Eastern. That's our next January session. So, little homework. You started a dedication page. Maybe you finish your dedication before next week. You started a little bit of an introduction. Maybe you just go back over that and get that a little bit meatier, right? We did the love letter, which could be part of your introduction. So weave it in. See what you want to do with your love letter and start typing, right? title and subtitle of this book, play. Maybe you've got 5 ideas right now and you're just not sure yet. Put them all at the top of the first page. And then you could put some of those in the group. What do you guys think? You know, and if you want my eyes on it, send it to me and I will make some comments. And we're going to be talking very specifically about titles and outlining next time. Okay. And if you want to start to outline, go for it. Do a little outlining, see how it goes. And then I'm going to give you more specifics for that. And if you haven't already calendared the sessions, I hope it goes without saying, calendar the sessions, because when you show up, we're going to be writing together. We're going to be writing pieces January, February, March at all of these business prep sessions. And then when we hit the ground running in April with our weekly writing, we'll gather together and we'll be really writing chapters together. That is the time we're going to be setting aside that time. If you can't make a session, you know you're going to get the replay first thing the next morning. So protect time after that or whenever, right? And you can listen to the replay and have your own little session if you need it. They'll go into a Google Drive. You guys will get a follow-up email from me today with that, probably today or tomorrow morning. And yeah, thanks. Thanks for being here. Let's do it. Talk to you all soon. Have a great rest of your day. See you soon. See you on the 14th.